There it is. There it is. All right. Welcome. Welcome home. Welcome home. How's everyone doing? Hopefully good. Good morning, Tesla. Yeah, Tesla. Huh. Energy's up. Energy's pretty strong this morning. Cat as well. How we doing? Yeah, the audio wasn't plugged. Robert, thank you, man. $9.99. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hopefully you do that because you caught a nice trade or something. So hopefully I appreciate that. Thank you for the donation. New donation. Does anyone know where that's from? Anyone know where? New donation. Who gets it? Let's see who gets it first. Where's that from? I don't know if anyone's going to get it. Good morning. Made money in the rip on Microsoft yesterday. Nice. Lost it trying to fade another stock. All right. Well, hopefully you learned a little from it. Chef made like $8,700 on NVIDIA yesterday. So congrats, Chef. That's huge. Steven, I appreciate that. So are you. Target review, Ponzi? Yeah, we could take a look if I remember. Netflix, unbelievable, is right. Insane. Insane. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, Doggy got it. Doggy and Toxic got it. That is from Doc. Yeah, Microsoft 316's big level. Kevin got it as well. All right. Well, happy Friday. Hope you're having a good Friday so far. Hopefully you had a good day yesterday. Some nice movement yesterday. What happened yesterday? It was the levels we literally talked about right in the morning on this live stream. 13,630, 4160, 4170 on the ES, 13,630 on the NASDAQ. We held those levels at open, and we just ripped. We just ripped right off those levels. They were perfect. Perfect NASDAQ and ES levels. When I saw those holding on, it was always upside. Those key demand levels held on, and it was always upside. There was never a sign of downside yesterday, and so yesterday was just another pretty nasty rip. Yesterday was bigger than Wednesday, too. Yesterday was by far the biggest one. So yesterday was pretty textbook. NASDAQ ES levels really held on. We'll look at those again here in the morning. ES was able to get above 4,200. That's really the talk of the town. That's really what you need to be paying attention to. The ES futures, the ES is over 4,200. That is major. And that is what you need to be watching today. We need to see, do we close this week over 4,200? If we do, I think that can lead to more upside. That is a very major break on the S&P 500. I will show you guys why. I'm sure you already know, but I'll show it once again. If we maintain that 4,200 today, if we hold above that 4,200, there is still no reason to be looking short on this market. That is a very, very major break on the ES. So that's really the level I'm watching today. That's the most important thing on my mind is, does the ES hold over 4,200? And if it does, right, we need to look for that hold. We need to see maybe a break and retest of 42. See if we come back into that level. Does it hold in as new support? If we pull back, that's really what I want to see. Right? So nice stuff yesterday. Congrats if you caught a piece. Let's go ahead and get started. we'll go jump into our schedule. Futures economic earnings. So the biggest thing today on the economic side of things is Jerome Powell speaking at 11 o'clock today. He will be speaking with someone else at 11 o'clock, and that should be interesting. I am playing defense today without any doubt. All right, I had a very good week. It was a little shaky to start. If you watched my video yesterday I posted, you see I started the week a little shaky, and then I nailed it on Wednesday and Thursday. Today, I'm not going to give back my profits. It's just not going to happen. I already withdrew $5,000 from my trading account. I took a withdrawal this morning. I said, do everything that you can do to protect yourself. It's very difficult, right? It's sometimes not easy to withdraw money because it's nice to have that equity in the portfolio. It's nice to have that buying power. It's nice to, that's the greedy think. That's the greedy thought. I want that buying power. I want to take more trades, more money, more size, keep going, right? Sometimes you have to sort of do the right thing. And for me, a withdrawal this morning after a good week is the safe thing. So I did that this morning, right? I'm coming into today with defense in my mind. I know there's going to be plenty of more opportunities next week, not on 0 DTE, right, where we can be a little safe when we don't have Jerome Powell speaking in the middle of the market to potentially cause some volatility that you don't know you don't know exactly what's going to happen. And I'm not going to end, right? For me, I say this a lot. I'm not going to end a Friday on a red note. No one likes going into the weekend thinking about how they lost money on a Friday. It's not fun, and I don't want that. So, yeah. So that's what I did this morning because of 1, 0 DTE, which I don't particularly like and I don't trade particularly well on Fridays. And then 2, Jerome Powell speaking today at 11 o'clock. I don't want anything to do with that. I want nothing to do with that. I would hope to be out of here by 11 o'clock today. I would hope to be packed up, ready for the weekend before Jerome even starts to speak and just sort of watch from the sidelines and see what happens. So 11 o'clock, right? That's Jerome. We have Fed President Williams speaking at 8:45. We'll see if there's any movement there. But 11 o'clock is the big one here. Nothing really on the earnings side, so let's just go ahead and continue. Tesla 174, really nice hold yesterday. Tesla had a little drama yesterday morning. It did not move with the market like everything else. It caused a little drama, but it ended up working very nicely. So we'll take a look at Tesla. NVIDIA 314, a huge level here. Weekly chart, previous rejection that it is trying to hold as support. Big level to watch today. This is the biggest thing to be watching is Meta gap fill. Meta has touched the gap level. $248 a share is where Meta is. Right above 248 is where that gap begins on Meta from that major downside on earnings back in 2022. This is going to be very interesting. 248 on Meta. I think a lot of people are going to be eyeing this. Keep an eye on Meta today and through next week. This could be very, very advantageous, or it could be, it's going to present opportunity is what I'm trying to say. Google weekly high, something to watch. Shopify, this pullback on Shop, I'm definitely watching. I think Shopify is going to flag and push higher off this little pullback. So this is absolutely something I'm watching. TSM, MU, AMD, we'll take a look at some of those semiconductors. And then finally, Microsoft 316. Big level there. So that's what I have on the schedule. I will continue to, look around. If there's anything else I like, I'll show it to you guys here. Energy's hot this morning. That's something to pay attention to. And again, energy will be necessary, right? Energy and financials are going to be necessary sectors if we want the ES to continue higher, a healthy move higher, right? If we want that ES to start grinding higher, start gaining momentum, we need some confidence back on the financials. It's not going to be a good market if the financials are continuing to see weakness, if there's still regional bank fears. We need that confidence back in that sector. I think that's very important. In my eyes, that is very important. The market needs financials to be stable. Without a stable XLF, without a stable financial sector, I don't love, I don't feel as warm and cozy if I don't see that. So that's going to be something I very much watch over the next few weeks is do financials find a little bit of a little bit of life? That's something I'm definitely paying attention to. North Star, thanks for the morning prep. Grab a Celsius. Cheers, my friend. Wild berry. Grapes pretty good too. Thank you so much, man. $10 donation. New donation. I need a little thing that comes up. Right up here. Right in this area. It comes up. New donation. Thank you, North Star. All right. Let's get started. All right, so I got to be honest. I am having a little bit of problem. I'm having a little bit of difficulty really feeling confident on my NASDAQ levels today because the NASDAQ is just simply ripping to the upside through like all these levels. The ES, I have some confidence in, right? The ES, I have confidence in the levels because I know 4,200 is going to be huge. And I know that's there. It's right there. It's going to be monster. So let's start with the ES today. What was the first thing that we talked about yesterday on the live stream? Right? We talked about the 4165 level on the ES. This was yesterday, right? We said if the ES maintains this previous high and it turns it into support, that we can see more upside, right? If we hold the 4165, if we hold the previous high, we could see more upside. So if we go to the 5-minute chart from yesterday, this is where I started to take SPX calls. So we started to hold this level early morning. If you guys are in the Discord, right, you heard me take those live, right? And I was watching this and I said, hey, again, I have to trust my demand. I have to trust my analysis. Without trusting analysis, what are you even doing, right? If you're not going to take the trades that you formulate, if you're not going to take the risk that you like, you're not, right? I would understand why maybe you don't because you're not confident or you are not feeling comfortable trading, which is normal for some that are newer. But if I'm going to if I'm going to say demand's at 4165 and I see this and I'm not taking a trade, that's just pure fear, right? It's scared. You're scared of losing. You're scared of taking trades. That's not something you want to have, right? That's something I want to avoid. So when I saw this, I said, you got to go for it, man. This is 4165. It's the perfect demand level we talked about in the live stream. And so I started to go along some SPX here around 4170, 4168 area. And then pretty much 10 minutes after, we just ripped to the upside. So really nice demand hold yesterday on the ES. This caused that upside move, the hold of that yesterday or of that Wednesday demand end of day, that Wednesday after hour and pre-market hold. You guys can see it right here. So that was very nice. Now, afternoon yesterday, end of day yesterday, right? Look at the squeeze candle that you got above 4,200. After breaking this 4,200, you just got pure squeeze action, right? This is just shorts covering 4,200 squeeze. That is what happened here around 340 yesterday on the market. Very big move, all right? If we go to the 4-hour chart, all right? If we go to the 4-hour chart, or you know what? Let's go to the daily. We know that 4,200 is a monster level, even just in the short term. But if we zoom out, all right, let's get more time. We'll get more time here. All right. This, first of all, was that 4165 was very important as well. But this 4,200, if we extend this to the left, right, you can see 4,200, 4,200, 4,200, 4,200, and now we are above that 4,200. So if we go into the short-term time frames, this is everything that I think you need to be watching today. You need to be watching, do we hold 4,200? I would assume that we pull back to this level. I would be a little surprised if we don't. This is actually upsetting me a little bit. There's a difference here. This is 83. This is throwing me off. This needs to be 83 transparency. All right, there we go. So I would assume that you pull back to 4,200. I think that's 100. I can't say 100% because this thing's 100%. I'm going to put that at like a 97% chance that we see a pullback to 4,200. I think that is very, very, I think that would be a very clean move, right, on the ES. A pullback to 42 and test that level. See what happens at that level today. I think that is a very possible move today. Do we come back into that 4,200 and do we hold? Or do we see that weakness come in once again under 4,200? That is going to be the one. That's going to be the biggest thing that you're watching today. If we go into next week, right? If we go into next week and we are maintaining over this 42, if we close the day like this or something and we're above 4,200, I think you lead to more upside, without a doubt, if that 4,200 turns into a demand today. If we break under that 4,200 and we start to see rejections today, right? Things get a little uneasy. People are going to get a little uneasy, right? That is not that confident inspiring if we close today under 4,200. So this is going to be everything. This is all I'm watching today. I'm not going to take one single trade until I see what 4,200 does. I'm not going to open swing trades until I see what 4,200 does. I'm not going to do anything until I see what 4,200 does today. That is what I want to see. That is my prerequisite to trade today, is a 4,200 pullback. All right, I want to see the price action at 42 on a break and retest. If we do not get that, we might just pull back to like this 42.12 area. If it's very strong, if the ES says, nope, I'm just going straight up today, then we might just see a pullback to this 42.12 level. All right, this little short-term demand from after hours pre-market here at this 42.12. So 42.12, that could be a short-term watch, but ultimately I want this pullback. There's absolutely no reason to short this market above 4,200. The same way there was no reason to short the market above this channel high at 41.65. Stop trying to short this market. It's not going to work right now. It's way too strong. Look at this move over the last 2 days. There's no reason to be the hero that shorts the market. It's not there. There's no signs of that. And there is absolutely no signs if you're above 4,200. There's no logical reason to short this market after breaking a 4,200 major channel high. Like major channel high. This is 4,200. This is 4,200. This is 4,200. There's no reason to short this market back into 4,200. Maybe if you want to play a 4,200 fade today, right? That could be your short entry, similar to what happened yesterday intraday, right? There was a little short play yesterday off 42. You can see right here. There's a little bit of a 4,200 rejection right here intraday yesterday. But again, right, if you guys are not precise with your shorts in this market, like we've talked about, if you're not someone just taking a few points on the futures or someone that's taking 10, 20% on some SPY puts, you are going to get messed up because these shorts do not last very long. So sure, if you shorted off 4,200 and you've shorted that supply, fantastic job. If you took profits on this drop, great job. If you took profits on this drop, great job. If you didn't take profits and you just said, I think the market's going to tank because 4,200 is big and I think the economy's shit and the market needs to go lower, you lost a lot of money, all right? So if you're going to short the ES, if you're going to short the market, you better not marry that position, at least not in this market right now. It's just not there. And that is not trading with the bias. That is simply just reading what's on the market. The market is not giving you long-term shorts, right? It is very short-lived, and if you do short this, if you short any type of extreme high, you better be a profit taker because it's just simply what the market is showing. So 4,200, that's your level today. 42.12, 4,200, watch those levels. If we hold 4,200 into close today, I would not be getting bearish because that is a very important hold if we hold that 4,200. So watch that. All right, SPY. 417, that's your level. 417, right? Look at this right here. Here's the same chart. It looks the exact same. 417, 417. And if we go to the short-term time frames, you guys can see what happened after we squeezed over 417 yesterday. Very big push, right? So you got a little bit above 417. What'd you get up to right here? Around 418. So we could put a little line there. Short-term 418 line. Make sure we pay attention to that. 418, but I think the major level is really 417. Very bearish. Sure, man. It's very bearish to break above a weekly. Yeah, this is very bearish here. You got to pay attention to the levels. There's nothing bearish about breaking above these 4,200 weekly rejection points. But to each their own. So right here, you can see 417. You had a previous high here. You continue to make higher highs and higher lows. There's nothing bearish about that. You broke above this previous high here. You had a big squeeze above it. If we get a pullback, right? If we get a pullback, you have to be watching that 417. That is the level you're watching. If you maintain over 417 today, right, that is still in a bullish scenario. You are still bullish over 417. There is nothing bearish about holding above this previous high. All right, if you are above this previous high at 417, if you continue to maintain above a previous high, if you turn a previous high into support, there is no reason to be the hero that tries to short back into a previous high that turns into a demand, right? That's not bearish. So pay attention to that. 417 here, that's your 4,200 on the ES. You can see it right here, right? 4,200 on the ES. If you maintain that level, pay attention to it. SPY 417. That's your level. All right. Now, there is a level above on the SPY, which is a little bit interesting, and I will show it to you right now. It's this gap fill level. This is sort of interesting. So here again, right, 417, right? You can see it here on the daily, right here. 417, 417, 417, right? So you are above that 417 triple top from back in, this is a triple top that dates back to June of 2022, right? June of 2022. This is August of 2022. This is February of 2023. And this is April of 2023, right? So 417, big level. You're above it. Now, gap, right? Here's a little gap that has never been filled up on the SPY. This never got filled. This is up into 421.22. 42122. That is the gap that maybe you see a little bit of resistance off of today. The low of this August 19th, 2022 candle is 421.22 on the SPY. And that is why I have put a line there on my SPY chart. Just in case, right, we fill this gap right here, and maybe there's a little bit of a rejection off that level, right? So pay attention to that. 421.22, there's your gap, and you're starting to potentially get into that level. That is right here. So just pay attention to that level right there, 421.22. See if there's any reactions off that level today, all right? 417, 421.22 gap fill. Same thing as the ES, right? If we don't get a significant pullback today, you're just watching these pre-market lows. All right, if we don't get any pullback, you're just watching this pre-market base, which is pretty much, all right, you can see here on the ES, here's your little pre-market base around 42.12, right? What did the ES do yesterday? It held its little pre-market base, right? You see this little base that it formed in the pre-market after hours? Right here, basing, and then bam, right? Look at how similar this looks. Basing, right? And maybe there's a bam. Who knows? But that base at 41.65 yesterday that formed all right here is what held in the morning action. So if we form this demand all right here, is it what holds in the morning action? Same thing, same exact chart setup. Look for it again. So 42.12 on the ES, 4,200, 419.50 pre-market base, 417. All right. So Nasdaq is Nasdaq's interesting, man. Nasdaq is pretty interesting. So really the main level that I'm watching is this August high. It's from right here. This August high is 13,740. So 13,740 is this August high right here on the NASDAQ. August of 2022. That is also, right, if we go to the weekly chart, I know there's some lines there. We'll get rid of those. But that is also this wick high on the weekly chart, right? So you can see right here, this wick high on the weekly chart. This is 13,740.75. 13,740.75. Sorry, yeah, 0.75 is the weekly chart high here from August on the NASDAQ. So that is the first level that sort of interests me. All right, if I zoom out, I'm going to go ahead and move this down. I'm going to clean this up a little bit for you guys. That is the first level that's sort of on my mind today. It's this 13,740.75. Let me go ahead and put that exactly where I want it to be. 13,740.75. That's that August high, and I have it sort of written out here. It says August 2022 highs. So that is something I will be watching. Now, I have the green box above because I see some demand that stepped in right here around this 13,760. So I'm going to sort of watch. If I delete this for a second, this is really where I want to see, right, the retest come in, is right here at that previous August high from 2022. If we turn the 2022 August high into demand today, right, that is still a bullish setup on the NASDAQ, and that could actually be a nice little pullback and a retest of that level. So that's absolutely a level on my chart. Besides this level, right, besides having that major level there, everything else is just short term. It's all just short term levels. Because when I look at this weekly chart, I'm going to delete this for now. When I look at this weekly chart, there is really not much here. There's really not much here. There's this pivot right here. That's a pivot I can pay attention to. There's a few highs from back here in 2021, I think. Yeah, 2021 and this 2021 here around this 14,000. And then over here, I mean, I really don't see much, right? These are not really major levels. We have broken over the major level here at that August high. So that's what I'm going to put a lot of trust in, is this August high right here. And I want to see how we react to that level. So if I go to the daily chart, we can get a little bit more time on the daily and sort of get a little bit more detail here on this daily. So I'm going to zoom in here. So you guys can see here on the daily, that's that August high. That's the level we're watching. That's also a previous low right here. That's also a previous rejection right here and a rejection right here. So that's a big level for me. The next level that I'm really watching, that I actually see some real, action at, is right here. It's this 14,300. All right, you can see these rejections on the daily chart at 14,300. So look at this. This is really the next level that I actually have some significance to, is this 14,300. So why do I say that? You see wicks, hold, wick, and John Wick. All right, those are a lot of John Wicks. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 days we wicked and we rejected 14.3. So that's a pretty big level up there. So that's really, those are the two levels I'm watching. I'm watching the August 2022 highs at 13,740 and this 14,300. Those are the two levels that I really have significance for here on the NASDAQ. Besides those two levels, right? Besides those two levels, let me go ahead and draw this out here. Besides this and this, it's all just short-term momentum, in my opinion. So you could watch like these lows here. You could watch the previous rejections here, right, at this 13,830, right? Sort of just these short-term previous highs, previous lows. Let me go ahead and bring that down a little bit. So there's my sort of chart on the NASDAQ today. I'm going to watch these highs here from yesterday, see if that's a retest, maybe a little flag into that level, right? Something like this, where we flag into here and then sort of hold that demand, something along these lines here, right? Maybe we do that. Or if we come back lower, right, I'm going to look for that August high retest. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. I know it's a little bit hard to sort of get across here, but 13,840 and 13,740, that August high, is the levels I'm watching on the NASDAQ. QQQ, It's pretty much the same type of concept here on this chart. I'm going to watch that August high again, right? So August high right here, the high of this candle is 334.42. If I go to the 5-minute chart, look what 334.42 did yesterday on the QQQ, right? It's not by just some miracle that is where the QQQ found demand intraday before popping to the upside, right? So you guys can see previous hold, previous hold, previous hold. That is pretty much a triple bottom on the intraday yesterday in the QQQ. Why did it hold there? It's not some miracle. It is simply just the previous August high right here, right? That August high is the reason the QQQ held right here yesterday. So that's your main level to watch. That's big time, right? That's what I would be watching today in the Qs. I'd be watching that August high, 334.42, right? And then sort of just watching some of these previous wick highs, maybe this 336 zone as well, all right? So 336, 334.42, August high. I'm actually going to go ahead and label that August 2022 highs. Next to make sure I know that that's that. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. Mike Jones. Yeah, Mike Jones got over 33.5. That's pretty big, right? You see that little flip over 33.5 on Mike? Next level is this 33.840 area. It's this previous rejection point right here. This is now going to be green because we are now above that level, right? So you can see it right there. Let me go into the hourly. So here's your next rejection level on the Dow right here. Rejection, rejection, rejection. 33.830, 33.840. But you now are above 33.5. That's good. Russell, channel low demand bounce. Congrats to anyone who took this trade, right? All it was another demand hold, right? Demand, demand, demand. Congratulations. Nice push. Watch out for supply at 1820. Alex Jones. So 1820 on the Russell. All right. Those are the futures. Hopefully that makes sense. If you want to get those levels every single day on a text format, you guys may not know, but I run this Discord called the Chart Discord. It's called Chart. It's a play on words for art and chart. Let's see if I have I don't have a picture for it. No, it's over here, but you can't see it. This is pretty much just technical levels. There's no talking in this. You cannot contact me. You cannot contact anyone else in this group. This is simply me posting the futures levels that we talk about here in the live stream every single day. And this is also me posting SPY QQQ levels and just technicals on individual stocks every single morning. I think it's like $5 or $10 a month. I'm not even sure what it's at right now. But if you want to get technical levels, if you don't want to be in a community, if you don't want to talk and you just want to wake up, trade by yourself and get my levels, you can go ahead and check that out. I do that as a way to maybe deviate from maybe some people not wanting, a full-blown community of traders that they can talk to on a daily basis and just sort of trade on their own, but still want to get some help with some levels. So you can check that out. All right. So what do we want to do? We want to go Tesla. That's what we want to do. So, yeah, this is pretty interesting this morning on Tesla. Hourly? No, where am I looking here? Yeah, all right, hourly. So here's the key that happened yesterday, right? You guys know yesterday morning we talked about this. I had it at 174, but Tesla caused some drama yesterday. Tesla, it's never that clean, right? So you guys can see right here. 174 was the level I was watching. It was this previous high, and this previous high. Now, Tesla wouldn't be Tesla without a little bit of drama in the morning. So you can see Tesla, big drop under 174, back above it. Drop under 174, back above it. It wasn't until the late day action that you sort of maintained 174, right? It wasn't until the late day action until you maintained 174. You guys can see right here, 174, 174. So that maintain end of day on Tesla was very key at 174. So you can see it wasn't as clean as you would have liked, right? In the morning, it faked some people out. It made some people go long, right? It made, people went long here, got faked out. People went short under 174, got faked out. Tesla did its job yesterday for sure. Now, it wasn't until the later day action that Tesla stabilized and then started to push to the upside. So 174 did hold, and that was a very, very key hold, right? You can see why is that so key? Because it is a previous double top, right? You are turning a previous double top into a new support. That is bullish, right? That is a break and retest for upside. What's next, right? Now we're just looking at the stairs. We're looking at the stair steps. The next stair step is the high of this candle, which is 177.38. Now, what is Tesla doing at 177.38 this morning, right? Look at this, right? Look where Tesla is holding this morning. It is holding right above that previous high on the 30-minute, on the hourly, wherever you want to look at it. You can see it right here. It is holding above this previous wick high right now in the pre-market. So if Tesla maintains above that 177.38, let's just call it even 177, to put a psych level there at 177. If Tesla maintains over this previous high, there is absolutely no reason to short this stock. If it turns that into a new support, I would assume that you make it back to our 180 target that we've had here on Tesla. So I would assume you make it back to that 180 low right here if you hold on to that 177 today. Really nice stair-stepping pattern on Tesla, right? This has been nothing but a beautiful stair-step over the last few weeks, right? If you zoom out and you just look at the Tesla chart at a longer-term level and you sort of ignore the craziness that happens intraday, this is simply nothing but a beautiful stair-step to the upside, right? Why do I say that? Demand hold, previous supply into new demand, right? Previous supply into new potential demand, right? This is nothing but a stair-step higher right now. Previous lows, previous highs. Previous highs turn into previous lows. Previous highs turn into previous lows. Does this stair-step continue? That's what I'd be watching on Tesla. So 177 today. Keep an eye on that level. NVIDIA, what an absolute monster. What an absolute monster. Congratulations to those NVIDIA shareholders. All right, so why 314? Here's why. So I might have to go to the daily chart for this and get a lot more time. Let me zoom in. So 314, in my eyes, is the area that rejected here. 1, 2, support, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rejection, 9, 10, right? Look at all this. Look at all these reactions off 314 on NVIDIA. Now, if we zoom in to the short-term time frames at 314, you guys can see this area right around this 314, 312.50. It's this sort of zone right here is sort of what I'm watching today. Is NVIDIA going to maintain above that weekly high? So back to the weekly chart. Look at these wicks on the weekly chart here on NVIDIA. This is back at all-time highs. This is a big wick. Big wick, big wick, big wick, big wick, all on the weekly chart. So it's going to be a little interesting over here. Does NVIDIA hold above that zone? It really pushed higher yesterday, and I don't know if I really trust it to continue here. It really pushed. It got above that 314 zone. That's the area I'm going to watch today. If NVIDIA drops that 312.50 here, then I think you could have downside. This is dumping. Yeah, Jake's had a tough week, man. Guys, Jake has had a tough week. It's been rough out there. Hang in there, Jake. Hang in there, man. Just you'll get it eventually, right? You'll get your 1% drop eventually. And then you'll come to the live stream and tell everyone that you've been so right. So 312.50, right? 314, right? If we drop this low, then I think you could see that downside on NVIDIA, right? Right around this 312.50, then I think you could see that rejection play right in this area. But if you hold on to this low here on NVIDIA from yesterday, this double bottom low that formed intraday yesterday at 312.50, then I think you stay bullish, right? You stay bullish. You can't go short into a NVIDIA double bottom, right? You can't go short into an NVIDIA double bottom from yesterday. It's not going to work. If you know anything about what NVIDIA has done recently, you don't want to be the first one to short NVIDIA. So double bottom here, 312.50. That's what I'd watch on NVIDIA today. If you drop it, then I think you have nice downside opportunity, right? If you drop that level, then I think you have some nice downside opportunity, right? All right, so keep an eye on that 312.50. Meta. This is big. This is big. This is very big. This is going to be interesting. So if we zoom out and we look at this daily chart, where does this gap begin? And this gap, believe it or not, goes from the lows of this candle at 316 all the way down to 248. So that is a very, very big gap here on Meta. Now, you'll probably find some rejections at these lows here, but that's still at 290. So that's still some big movement. This gap begins at the high of this candle, and that is 248 on the dot. No sense, just 248. That is exactly the level, 248. So why am I so interested in Meta today? Look at where it's sitting. It is sitting right there. It's just looming right at 248. So if I see Meta, right? If I see Meta turn 248 into support today, I am going to take a shot on a swing trade. It's just something I'm going to do. It's going to be the risk that I'm willing to take. Maybe throw $1,000 in it, lose 500 if I'm wrong. I'm going to take that shot. So if I see Meta hold above 248, I need to see some really nice strength above it, maybe a few hours above it, really holding above. Right? If I start to see that form, then I'm going to look to take that shot. So 248, definitely a watch. Maybe there's a little rejection of 248 today, and we sort of pull back into that 244. That could be another nice watch as well. So Meta 248, that's the big time gap fill, big time gap level. Pay attention to it today, all next week. You have to be paying attention to this 248. If you do get a pullback, watch these highs. All right, and look at what Meta did yesterday. This is just some gorgeous, gorgeous break and retest action here yesterday. Can anyone spot how clean the break and retest was here intraday yesterday, right? We have demand. We have demand. We have rejections from Wednesday. We have rejections yesterday. What happened at 1 o'clock, right? You had a break, and you had in about 2 hours of consolidation above Wednesday's highs and intraday highs. There is just nothing quite as clean as that, right? So very clean there. Break and retest intraday on Meta. Very nice hold, and look at what caused the upside. So 248, that's your big level, and watch 244. All right. Google. Another very big weekly chart level. There's a lot of weekly chart levels to be paying attention to here. Very, very big weekly. It's Microsoft. It's Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Google are all at some major weekly chart levels. So why do I say that? Here's Google. Here's a weekly rejection point at 123.28. Here's a rejection point at 123.14. Here's a rejection point at 122.65. And here's a weekly rejection at 123.26, right? Now, oh, man. Poor guy. So that's a very big level on Google, right? That's a very big level on Google. You guys can see right here, 123.26, big high there, 123.23, major high here on Google. So I'm definitely going to be watching, all right, what happens in this zone on Google, right? I'm going to be paying attention to see if Google pulls back to that level, does it hold? And what you guys can see this morning is that Google is holding above that weekly chart rejection point. It is now holding above that. So can Google outperform today over this 123 area? Absolutely, right? It is going above. It is holding above these major weekly chart rejection points. So if Google holds above that, I think your next move is potentially towards this 125, this 126, right? That's sort of your next move. So I'd be watching that today. Google, very strong stair-stepping formation. Look at this. Look at these stair steps. Low, 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 right? Just sort of stair-stepping to the upside. Very, very nice. So I would look to see if Google can hold above this 123 area and then see if you can get that upside continuation towards that 126. Very nice area to watch on Google. Pay attention to that weekly chart. This is interesting on Shopify. This, to me, is an opportunity. This is this is very interesting. So you have Shopify 59 right here, right? 59 right there, 59.40, 60 area. You held it perfectly right there you held it perfectly here on Wednesday of this week. So you have previous highs, you have this pullback into 59.40, right? Really clean pullback right into that 59.40, and you held it really, really well. So rejection, support, and you're starting to hold that shop. Now, this, in my eyes, could just be a little bit of a pullback for another upside move. So this is going to be very interesting to me. I would definitely be watching to see if Shop can hold above this 60. If it can, I think there could be another upside move here off that 60 level. That's really all I have for you there. I just really like this 60 hold. So I'm definitely going to be watching 60. This, to me, is starting to look like Netflix. This chart, the way this is recovering, is starting to look like Netflix. And let me show you why. Netflix, you guys can see here on the weekly, just sort of understand the characteristics of Netflix on the weekly chart, right? You can see you have a big push to the upside. Goodbye, Jake. I don't even know why you're here. Why are you spending your time here, man? Like, go do something productive. All right, so big push to the upside, sort of a slow pullback, right? Big push to the upside, slow pullback. Big push to the upside, pull back, right? And you're sort of stair-stepping to the upside on the weekly chart. I'm starting to get that same feeling here on Shopify, right? You get your upside, your weekly pullback, upside, weekly pullback, upside, maybe a few weeks on a pullback, but it's starting to sort of form this uptrend on Shopify. So I'm definitely paying attention to this. I don't want to lose track of where Shopify is at. I don't want to lose track of where Shopify is trading. I will absolutely be watching for this 60 level hold. Yeah, you might get that gap fill, Liz. It's very possible, right? You could get that gap fill if you break 60, I'd say. If you break 60. TSM MU. So you guys know we're in the TSM swing. I'm up like 260% on this swing trade. I caught it, man. I caught it. I'm very happy about it. Thank God I took this trade, because if I missed AMD and I didn't take TSM, I would have been really, really pissed off this week. So thank God I took this trade, trusting my analysis. Nice hold of that 84, 83 level. Beautiful demand hold. Very nice bull flag, and we are breaking out of that bull flag, right? So really nice bull flag break on TSM. I'm just going to be sort of holding this thing. As long as TSM just continues to sort of grind higher here, I'm going to be holding. The next level I'm watching is this 94. I'm a little concerned about like 94, and then I'm going to be watching up at this like 96 area. But ultimately, my target here is much more long-term, and this weekly chart, I am going to be looking for that 110 level. And I love this weekly bull flag. I love it. So definitely watching that still. And yesterday I opened an MU trade. I think MU broke above a really big level here at 66. I know we've talked about this level before, but yesterday we finally got the break. Above 66, I think MU, right? And I saw those holds come in yesterday. I really like that MU hold at 66, and you can see that upside move. So I would say as long as MU retains either over this high here, which is around that 64.40. Let me go ahead and put that 64.40. What's up, ADR? You got to wake up early, ADR. Wake up. 64.40, right, to 66. If I go to the daily chart, as long as TSM is holding above either these highs here, right, this big rejection point, 64.40, or if we get more time, whether it's over that or over this previous low right here. You guys see this 66 previous low, 1, 2, 3, triple bottom at 66. If MU retains this zone right here and turns it into a support on any pullback, then I like this for more upside, right? This could be a nice hold of this little low right here of the 66, 64 zone. So I like that breakout yesterday, right? Good breakout, increasing volume. I'm definitely going to be watching for MU continuation as long as it's holding above the 66 to 64 demand zone here. That's definitely something I'm going to watch. So TSM, MU, let's go AMD. Daily chart AMD. So here's the level you're watching on AMD. It's 110. This is your level, 110. So if I zoom in here, all right, 110. Let me go ahead and extend this to the left. This 110 level is going to be your next big one to watch. And the reason for that, right, is because you are watching this previous high right here, right? This previous high, this was a triple top at 110. Right here. This is back in June 2022. So June 2022, you had your triple top at 110. And is this measured move? Did this measured move work out? I think the measured move worked out. So you can see, what is this? 42%, 35%. What are we at on AMD? 35. Yeah, you're sort of at the measured move. So this is literally exactly what we wanted to happen. What a move on AMD, man. Just absolutely perfect. So really nice triple bull flag, same exact percentage point move. I would watch out for 110 here, right? That's your next level. And you can start to see a little bit of the rejection setting up as we get close to that 110. So I would say pay attention to 110. If you get above that, I think you can go long again if you hold above it. But until you get above that 110, right, I would be just a little bit cautious longing into this triple top on the daily chart. Let me get a little bit more time here. I'll show you once again. All right, I would be a little bit cautious longing into this triple top right here on the daily chart, this 110 level. So just be aware of that as we approach this level. All right. All right, Microsoft 316. This is a big one as well, right? And we have to go to the weekly chart again because this market, it's crazy, right? I never thought I'd be looking at the weekly chart and at levels from 2021 and 2022 right now. But you have to be because that's the levels that we're looking at. There's nothing else on the chart in the short term besides 2022 and 2021 levels. So this weekly high is 316. This weekly high is 315. This weekly high right here is 315 as well. These weekly lows right here is 318, 319, 317, and 317. So this whole zone here is pretty damn important for Microsoft, right? Anywhere between this 316 and 317 is very important. Now, look at what Microsoft, I pointed this out to the group yesterday, and I know some people took this trade. Look at what Microsoft did all afternoon at 316 on the dot 316, right? Look at this hold all day yesterday at 316. Look at the little flag that formed at 316, and then look at that upside continuation. So very interesting, right? 316 held there. 316 had a big squeeze above. Off that 316 level, and look at where Microsoft is holding today. This is your weekly high level, this 316. This isn't short-term levels. This is back here at this 316 weekly high from 2022. And you can see how a level from 1 year ago is reacting here on the 5-minute chart intraday, right? That is very telling. Those are things you have to pay attention to. So if you continue to hold this 316 today, if you hold 316 into close today, into next week, right, I like this for upside. So I'm definitely watching 316. If you break under that level, then my mindset changes. I'm no longer looking long Amazon under 316. I'm not, I'm not going to just ignore if that level breaks. That is something you have to be paying attention to. If you hold that 316 all day today, if you hold it into next week or hold it into end of day, that's a very interesting hold above a 2022 weekly chart high. So 316, big watch on Microsoft. Apple, I'll go over Apple real quick because Apple pretty much did exactly what we were talking about yesterday. We said, let's watch Apple because it underperformed on Wednesday. Can it outperform on a Thursday? And that is pretty much exactly what it did. It did a break. It did a retest. It held the previous highs. It doesn't get much prettier than this. All it is a break of the previous triple top, a retest of the previous triple top, and a push to the upside. Gorgeous move on Apple. Yesterday, 174 turned into new support. Why did 174 turn into new support on Apple? Because it's the previous highs, right? Previous highs turning into support. 174, absolutely perfect. 174, we held it. Why did we hold there? Because it's the previous highs, right? Break and retest of the previous highs on Apple intraday, which is very bullish, right? So 174 previous highs, we turned it into support intraday, and we continued to the upside. Now, here's your level. This is the big kahuna. 176.15, right? That is your August high on Apple, 176.15. And we have to be paying attention to that level. If I zoom in here, 176.15 is that August high. It's also some major highs from back here. This is back in February of 2022. So 15-minute chart, look at where you're trading into. 176.15, you're literally sitting right at it today. So pay attention to that 176.15 today on Apple. If we turn that into support, more upside. Netflix, this is going to be the last one I go. Oh, it's 8:57. Holy crap. All right, I got to get out of here. I lost track of time. 500 likes, huh? Damn, it's tough out here. I'm here till 8:57. What the hell? I got to get out of here. All right. Thank you guys again. I appreciate the live stream. I got to head over to the chat. I did not realize it's 8:57. We're getting a little bit overextended here on the time. I appreciate you enjoyed the live stream. If you guys could be so kind, if you're feeling generous on a Friday morning, if you're excited for the weekend, if you did well this week, if you enjoyed the streams, anything, if you're feeling any type of joy in your soul, press that like button, subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Be safe out there. Don't let Friday mess up your week, please. If you had a good week, don't do anything dumb on a Friday. Be smart. Play it small. It's 0 DTE. Maybe play next week's contracts if you're not comfortable. I promise when you wake up Monday morning, you are not going to think about an opportunity that you missed out on Friday if you didn't trade. What you will think about on Monday is how you lost 20% of your portfolio trying to get aggressive on 0 DTE contracts. That you will remember, and that will mess up your week next week. So don't do that. Don't do that. Not for your portfolio, and also not for your mental and your emotion and your motivation. You don't want that. All right? So do everything you can to avoid that today. Come into next week with a fresh mind after a good weekend. Have a great weekend. Thank you guys again. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends about the stream. Tell your sister about the stream, most importantly. And I will see you guys next week. Peace.
Wow.